The first thing that I'm going to talk about is we have two different sections. We have income producing activities, and then we have non-income producing activities. And so I'm going to start off tonight with the non-income producing activities, which are secondary to what's most important. That I'm going to start off and I'm going to give you sort of some tools and resources to make sure that you know where to go. So the very first thing is that I hope that you have joined our Facebook page. So we have a private page. It is called SUSO Pure, SUSO Pure. And what that stands for is we came up with that name when we very first started, and it stands for Show Up and Show Out. So SUSO. So that's our team name, SUSO. And so make sure that you're on that page. You're going to have to request membership. I'll go in and I will approve you. But you want to do that first and foremost. When you sponsor someone brand new, what I want you to do is I want you to have these action sheets with you, printed out, so that when you sponsor someone and you sign them up, right there, we're going to go through the action sheet. Okay, so what do we do first? We've chosen our pack. Number two, we've made sure our auto ship is 100 points minimum. And tonight, I'm going to show you guys how to change your auto ship. It goes through, your vision statement, mastering the system. Okay, look at number 4 on this action sheet. Plug in. So it's going to have text PTG to 9, 10, 11 in the US. And what these text alerts are, they're going to alert you. They're going to remind you, hey, Saturday morning training call at 10 o'clock Central Time. And they're going to send you different things. Every Tuesday and Thursday night, and this is a big one, so right now, guys, primarily everyone that's on this call is either going to be a Hallettsville team or a Victoria team, and we're doing meetings on Tuesday and Thursday night. But let's say you guys have people in Colorado or California, or you have people in other states that obviously cannot physically be at our meeting. Guess what? There's an overview. It's like a Zoom. So all they have to do is go to that web address. They're going to put in that meeting ID and boom, there's a presentation online. So that's really nice. And that's every Tuesday and Thursday. And then this gives you the Saturday morning training call. Okay, so this is going to this is Pure Team Global. All right, now the next thing I'm going to take you guys to, I'm going to take you to another website. So you've got our Facebook, you've got Pure Team Global. Now what I want you to go to is I want you to go to YouTube. All right, so when you go to YouTube, if you search for SUSO, because that's our team name, Pure, and you click on SUSO Pure, here we are right here, this team SUSO Pure, okay? So when you click on it right there, and then you click videos. So right now it's on home, but if you click videos, check this out. There's a ton of stuff. So there's different overviews. Now we need to go in and update these because our pack prices went up a little bit at the beginning of the year. So some of these are outdated. This Leadership Nuggets, great, by Nick Morrison. I'll tell you another one that's very good to watch, The Power of Team Building. This one right here, you definitely want to watch that. Okay, the training with Lindsay and Sam. So tonight, I'm going to go through some back office training with you guys, but let's say you forget and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to change my auto ship. You want to do the training with Lindsay and Sam. So the benefit of this YouTube channel is that, again, when you sign up someone new, you want to plug them in so that they can find answers for themselves. So here's the deal. Our team is growing very, very rapidly. And so what our goal is to build leaders on top of leaders and to really equip and empower people. So you're going to find out very, very quickly who your leaders are. How? Because they're already finding the answers and solutions for themselves. They're not calling you for every little thing like, how do I change my auto ship? What do I do? They're already finding out the answers for themselves. And so you want that, guys, because as you grow rapidly, there's 90% of every question a new person will have can be answered on Pure Team Global or on our YouTube channel. Dead serious. 90% of all questions. And so if you will plug people in and, for instance, say, hey, you need to watch that training with Lindsay and Sam, it's going to teach them, how do you sign someone up? How do you change your auto ship? So all of those things are important. So we've got several things. So that's a good thing to have. Okay. The other thing I want to show you is I am going to walk you through your back office super quick because I know we've got some new people. And so what I do, guys, when I sign someone up is as soon as I sign them up, Once we're done, I log them back in, and right there where I'm sitting with them, I teach them, how do you sign someone up? How do you change your auto ship? Let's go through your action sheet. So those are things that I do sitting right there with them at that time. So what I just went through is we have non-income producing activity that's important, and that's going to be your Pure Team Global, our team Facebook page, the YouTube channel, which is Suso Pure, and there's a wealth of information there. And then there's the income producing activity. And so what I really, really want to stress to you is that's the most important. So it's once you've signed up, our goal as a team is what we say, out of the gate in 48. And that means that our goal is to get you your first 2 legs within 48 hours, because there is something very, very powerful to getting that. So I want everybody to have that in mind, that when you're going to have your list of names. That's what we tell everybody. Now, self-admittedly, I am the person that flies by the seat of my pants. Despite what you may think, I am not one of those super administrative or detailed persons. I'm not. So I have had to learn in this business that in order to be successful, I'm going to have to line item things out. So I just want to speak to you. You need to write the names on an actual sheet of paper, like write them out, okay? Go through your phone, go through your Facebook. This is what we're going to do. And I always tell people you can have at least 10 names, hopefully more, 20, 25, 50, but at least you've got 10 names, all right? And then this is where we're going to start. This business is relational. It's all about, you guys remember, it's all about invite, show, share, connect. So when you call, and this is the biggest mistake that people make, your invite is crucial. This is where you are going to make it or break it in this business. So when you pick up the phone, now guys, this is very important. This business is so important, it's worth a phone call. It's not something that you text or you do over Facebook. In fact, if you've just signed up, please do not go to social media yet. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. Okay. So phone call. And when you call, I'm going to do a role play for you. This is literally what I do. We have a saying, please write this down. Be brief, be vague, be urgent. All right. It is not that you're trying to be deceiving. It is because if you do what I call the pure puke, which means you're going to call someone and you're going to completely overwhelm them, and you will lose the business because it's too much. They can't handle it. All right. So when you call someone, this is what I do personally, okay? I wait until I legitimately am going somewhere. Like I'm in the car, I've got my 3 kids in the back, and I'm almost at the grocery store, okay? So call my girlfriend. Hey, Carol, what's up? It's Lindsay. How are you? You know, do the niceties. Listen, Josh and I have gotten involved with something, and I want you to look at it. It's huge. I'm so excited. I want you and Sam to look at it. It's a nutraceutical company, ground floor level, IPO shares. There are people making a ton of cash. What are you guys doing tonight? Literally, that's all I say. And then Carol at that time is going to say, well, you know, so maybe I'm going to invite her to a meeting, or maybe I'm going to send her a video link, or maybe I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to come by tonight. I'm going to put my girls to bed, and I'm going to come over at 8:30. Will you and Sam be home? I'm coming over to talk to you. So do you see what I'm doing? What I'm doing is I'm hitting the high points to pique enough interest that Carol is actually going to look at the plan. So whether it's a video, or she's going to let me come over, or she's going to come to a meeting, that's my goal in the initial conversation. And this is number one place where people make mistakes, is they over talk it. I did that. A lot of people do that. So I'm just telling you, don't pure puke. You are going to lose the business, okay? So I want you to also write this down. The fortune is in the follow-up. So once you've invited them to look at it, you need to already set it up that you're going to be calling them. So they expect your call. So, all right, Carol, so okay, great. As soon as we hang up, I'm going to send you this video. It's by Rachel Garcia. She's a practicing PA. She's awesome. And then listen, I'm going to call you. So do you think you can watch it tonight, or when do you think you can watch it? Because I'm going to call you back. I want to hear your thoughts on this. So I've already let Carol know, the person I'm talking to, that I'm going to call you back to follow up, okay? And that's it. So I'm inviting them to look. I'm showing them the plan in one form or another, and then I'm following up, okay? Now, there is something very powerful to getting multiple people on the phone. So I know that there's a lot of you out there that are very, very competent at talking, and you feel like you've got this. So am I. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm competent. I can do this talk by myself. But even today, if I'm talking to someone, I will typically bring in another teammate. So either I'm going to call Nick Morrison or, somebody else on my team. I try to match up the personality with the prospect I'm talking to. And I'm going to get that third party on the line. And the reason for that is there's something very powerful. They can hear how we're excited. We're playing off of each other. We're talking, answer questions. It's just a third party point of view. And there's something very powerful about that. So please utilize your team. If you're talking to a pastor, we've got pastors. We want to hook them up. If you're talking to a physician, we've got physicians. Use your team, So for instance, if Carol, maybe I haven't closed her yet, I'd say, all right, Carol, listen, second step, I'd like to set up a call. What are you doing tomorrow? Can we set up a call with so-and-so? And at that time, Carol's probably going to say, sure. If you're prospecting a man, set up a call with a guy on our team. I mean, guys, we've got Daryl, we've got Tom, and then upline, we've got Josh Masters, Nick Morrison. I mean, we've got a lot of really strong male leaders. And the reality is a lot of times the men want to hear from men. So let's hook that up. The most important, the hugest benefit of this particular company is the team that is team-based. And so I don't go at this alone. Utilize the team because that's very, very powerful. Okay, so you made your list and then you start making calls. You're inviting people, you're showing them the plan, and then you're following up. Our goal is to get you your first 2. Now, when you sign up your first 2 people, then guess what? You're going to put your list aside for a little bit, and you're going to help them get their 2 people. All right? So you go to your new sign up and you say, all right, our goal as a team is out of the gate in 48. Let's make a list of 10 people, and I'm going to help you get your first 2. And I am telling you guys, if you will move down the line and just work and help them get their 2, you will be blown away at what that's going to do for your business. So I hear all the time people tell me, well, I don't have a lot of contacts. I just don't have a network. That's fine. You don't have to, because guess what? 2 people in the whole wide world, 2 people. So once you get those 2 people, they've got contacts. And so you're going to go to them. Now, it's very important that you get with people and you help them, like, let's get you going. But I want to be very, very real and very honest with you. And this is something as a business builder that you need to understand. Not everyone's going to get it. Not everyone is going to be a Shelley or a Carol Allen or a Verna. There's going to be people that they don't get it, and that's okay. But there's a saying that you got to keep shucking. Okay, so you're shucking oysters, and not every oyster is going to have a pearl. Not every oyster that you shuck, not every person that you bring in is going to be a runner. And that's okay, because it doesn't take that many to make significant income. But it does not do you any good to sit there and look at that oyster and say, oh, please be a pearl. I know you're a pearl. You can do it. Come on, be a pearl. Come on, you got it. Read this book. No, they're not going to be a pearl, and you got to keep shucking. So the other thing that I want you to write down, and this is super important, is there is a saying, and it says, work where you are deserved and not needed. Meaning you're going to very quickly, leaders are obvious. The runners are obvious. People always say, well, how will I know if they're, you're going to know that it's a leader. Sometimes they're doing stuff and it's all wrong, but they're doing it. And so then but you're going to know it. And so you take them and you try to give them a little bit of coaching and kind of try to get them back. But you're going to know your leaders and runners, and that's who you spend your time with, because that's who's going to generate the momentum. It's like that whole 80-20 rule. 20% of your team will do 80% of your business. So trust me, like, that's where you spend your time. A lot of people, the tendency is, to just drag and pull and come on, we got to have this. You can't want it more for somebody. All right. This is the real deal. It's very legitimate. These products are going to radically change their life, but not everyone's going to be a business builder. So again, I always tell people, I've sponsored 24 people now. I have probably 6 that are actively working in business, and you're going to find that. So find your runners and run with them. Okay. So the basics. There's 3 basic topics on this. Number 1 is mindset. Number 2 is your skill set. And number 3 is your work ethic. And so kind of what we've already gone through is the skill set, right? That's where all your training modules are. That's where to find things. If you do not have my phone number, you need to get it. I'll call it out to you. It's 979-530-2140. So that's my phone number. The other phone number I want to give you is a guy named Sam Crossley. He is the sales director inside of corporate. So I have people call me and they're like, Lindsay, my back office is messed up, or my app's not updated, or I don't think my numbers are accurate, or whatever. You got to call corporate for that. If you call me, I'm going to have to do the same thing. I'm going to have to call corporate. So I want to give you a direct conduit inside, so that if you have any sort of questions on numbers, compensation plan, your back office, your app, you need to return product, something's on back order, whatever. Okay. So Sam Crossley, this is his cell phone, is 801-800-0303. So 801-800-0303. Okay. So he is a direct line. Now, let's say that you just need to call pure customer service. All right. So you're missing something in your shipment, or let's say that you put someone on the wrong leg and all of a sudden you're like, crap, I need to switch their leg. You've got 4 days to move someone from one leg to the other. So you would call corporate. If you call me or you call Carol, we can't help you because we can't do anything about that. This is where you're going to call straight to customer service. So that number is 866-535-5888. Again, 866-535-5888. That is pure customer service number. So Monday nights, they're super late because that is close out of a pay period. So they're going to be there till midnight. The rest of the time, I think it's till 6 o'clock or something. So that's kind of the nitty gritty. All right. Now, social media. This is a big thing. This is a big topic. This is my suggestion. Now, again, I'm going to preface everything I'm about to say to you guys tonight that this is your business and you are the CEO of your business. And so whatever you want to do, you do. I'm just telling you what we found to work, but I also want to make sure that you know I'm not here to micromanage you. I don't want to be micromanaged. I don't want to be put into a box. And so I never want to do that to someone else. What I'm going to tell you today is what we found has worked. But if you want to do something different, you can. And I want you to know that you have freedom in that. So that's kind of my disclaimer. All right. Social media. Social media is a good tool. However, the caveat to that is you need to build your business belly to belly first and get yourself a good little team and get some success before you go to social media. All right. So this is what happens a lot of times. People sign up and the first thing they go to Facebook. I'm with this new company, Pure. I'm so excited. Yeah. Private message me if you want more information. And what have you just done? Now, every single person in your warm market, when you call them on the phone, they're not going to answer. When you text them, not going to answer because they're like, what's he going to sell me? What's she going to sell me? And that's reality. So you have literally shot yourself in the foot before you've even gotten out of the starting gate. What you want to do, and we did this with Whitney Johns. This is a girl on our team that is literally famous in the company. She made $100,000 her first 30 days. $100,000 her first 30 days. So let's talk about how she did that. She had a Facebook group, an online boutique that she had started for 3.5 years. So she had 40,000 followers. So she came into this business and I reached down to her and I said, hey, let me help you. Can I help you get started? And so she said, yes. And so we began and we launched her. And so that week, what we did was we set up several invite calls. And every single night, week 1, every night, we had Zooms, just like what we're doing right now. We had Zooms, but they were prospect meetings, okay? So she had a list of names. We called people, hey, we've got something exciting. We want you to look at it. What are you doing tonight at 9 o'clock? Can you and Jason hop on the phone because we've got something big we want to show you? And so sure enough, we'd make calls all day. We'd do a Zoom at night. And literally that week, we signed up, I think it was like 7 or 8 different 1,500 packs. And she hit platinum. Platinum's a $5,000 paycheck, okay? When she got that paycheck, then she went to her social media. And she posted, hey guys, you know, I've done lip syncs for years and years. I found something, the pay is incredible. This compensation plan, I can't even believe. I want y'all to look at it. And she did a little Facebook Live, and then she posted the copy of her check. The next 2 weeks, we literally signed up 150 people, 150 on that. So it was crazy awesome, totally cool. But that's how she made $100,000 in 30 days. But here's what I tell people. She didn't start out posting on social media. Even though she had this tremendous platform, we worked at belly to belly. Now, I'm exact opposite. I had zero social platform. I did not even have a Facebook until 3 months ago, and I started one, and now mostly it's a blog and Facebook, which is a lot of content for the team. So if you don't know about that, it's lindsayshield.com. And if you find me on Facebook, there's a fan page, and I do interviews and like different things, but it's more of content for our team, like I said. So be careful on social media. And so here's what I want to tell you. Everything that I'm telling you guys, you want to make sure that you're telling your team that. Okay. Now let's talk about meetings. This is very important. And I'm about to bring Carol and we have Daryl on. So hang on, let me go over here to participants, panelists. All right. So Ms. Carol, I'm going to unmute you in just a minute. So one thing that I want to talk about is when we're doing these in-person meetings, what is very, very effective, and I just kind of want to go through like the ABCs, 1, 2, 3s of meeting etiquette. So the first one is you want to make sure that we have water bottles for every guest that's going to be there, specifically the 8 ounce. So the smaller water bottles are best because we want every person that comes in to have an energy stick. And why is that effective? Because energy is what we call a high impact product. They're going to feel the difference within 30 minutes. And so as you're talking in this meeting, what's going to happen? People are going to laser in focus because that energy is mental. It clears the brain fog. So as your team is growing, so that the burden doesn't fall on the host, what we need to start doing is however many people you invite, plan on bringing waters. Okay. So if you invite 5 people, have a 6-pack of water that you're bringing, you know, or what y'all can do as a team is everybody pitch in and buy a couple of 12 packs or 24 packs and store them, whatever. I mean, I know that we're doing one every Tuesday night in Hallettsville. Thursday nights, we've got one going on in Victoria. But you guys come up with a system where you've got waters and energy, but you don't want the burden to always fall on the host because as you guys, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So the rule of thumb is however many people you invite, you're bringing waters and energy for, okay? Because you want every guest to have that. The other thing, name tags. So name tags, and we need to have a black Sharpie and a red Sharpie. The black is for people that are already enrolled. They're already in the business. The red is for new people. Why is this important? Because again, guys, trust me, y'all are moving so fast. You want to be able to quickly look out across the crowd and pick out who's the new person. Why? Because that's who we want to go to. They're the most important person in the room is that new person. So keep in mind name tags, black Sharpie, red Sharpie. Okay. The other thing is that it's very effective in a meeting to have 2 to 3 testimonies and then talk about who's going to do the product, who's going to do the business. So, and we're going to start empowering other people and like sharing in those roles. Now, the testimonies at the beginning, you want to have at least 1 financial testimony and 1 product testimony. This is very important. 2 minutes. 2-minute testimony. And guys, y'all are probably laughing right now. I want you to practice. So what I did is you need to record yourself on the phone and you literally need to record yourself and practice and then watch it over because you're going to find that there's things that you're like, ooh, I got to do that different. I got to change that. And when you time yourself, I promise you in the beginning, it's way more than 2 minutes. So what we're having is these people that ramble on and on and on. The other thing that you got to realize is whoever's doing the product part of the meeting, they're going to go through the products. They're going to talk about the mechanism of how the products work. So you don't have to do that in your testimony. So kind of keep that in mind because also what happens is we have people get up there and they're the testimony part, but they start doing half the meeting. And we don't need that. It takes up time and it's redundant. So there's a saying that says stories sell and facts tell. So the story is very, very important. We want to have a couple of them. but they need to be streamlined and succinct. And that is something that if you don't practice it, you won't have it. So everybody in this, you need to start practicing a 2-minute testimony and a 30-second testimony. And they call the 30-second testimony your elevator speech. So it's like, when someone asks you, well, what are you doing? What is that you can sit there and say? So I'm going to unmute. Carol, are you unmuted? And I want you to talk to how you kind of go through your steps on what you're doing. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Thank you for having us, and thank you for doing this for us. We really appreciate it. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You're awesome. Here we go. Yep.
Okay, very good. I guess what Lindsay's talking about is packaging your story, and a lot of us will ramble on because we get excited and we kind of lose our train of thought. I think I went away.
No, you're here. You're there. You're there.
Okay. Anyway, what I would like you to write down is these few things, because if it goes on more than 2 minutes, you've kind of lost your audience and you lost your joy. So it's where I was, what I saw, what I did, and where I'm going. So I'm going to give you a for instance here. Where I was tired, I was stressed and hurting. What I saw was a chance to feel good again, earn money in shares at the same time, and help others do the same. What I did, I jumped on board by buying the big pack because I knew I needed it all and felt I could start sharing with others right away. And where I'm going is I'm losing weight, I'm earning shares and an extraordinary income at the same time. Won't you join me on my mission of wellness, as I want you to see what I see and feel how I feel. I didn't time that, but that's, you kind of, as you get on these products and you're on them longer, you'll understand that it helps you speak, because you're going to be speaking from your heart and you're leading from your heart. So lead with your heart, because I am product driven. And as long as that keeps you moving, or keeps your spirit in the right place, the other will come. So your story is really, really important. And like she said, it is best to practice it, write it down, critique it. You can do whatever. I mean, but really, you have to start out with just really where you were, and maybe what drew you to this. But please, kind of work on that, and just less is better. I just think we're really fortunate to have something like this in our life. And I don't know if y'all know what you have on your hands, but I do know what you have on your hands, and you want to grasp this and hang on every word that Lindsay is telling us, because she's awesome, and they have critiqued this to where they know what works and what doesn't need to be said. If it's not important, don't say it. Just like I said, just stick to your facts and don't make any claims that that aren't substantial. So is there something else you'd like me to share with you, Lindsay?
No, that's great. if I leave something out, you jump back in. That's perfect.
Sure. Thank you for having us.
Hey, you're awesome, Miss Carol. Okay, guys. So let's kind of go back to, let me turn my video back on. Let's kind of go back to, by the way, it kind of looks like a construction in the background, and it's not. It's like these panels we're supposed to hang in our house. So that's what all that mess is. But okay, so one thing I want to tell you about, and this is where I'm going to bring Daryl on, because this guy is naturally good at this. So now there's always exceptions to every rule. Okay, so I'm going to make that disclaimer too. But primarily, you got to be very, very careful about only talking product. And let's talk about why. Number one, now again, there's exceptions to every rule. If you're talking to your parents, or you're talking to a friend that's very, very sick, or you're talking to a military veteran. Those guys that have gone to war and come back. So there's exceptions. But for the rest of the vast majority, when you're talking to them, you need to talk business. And here's why. number one, there are two types of groups of people in the world, I think. There's a group that they don't care at all about health and wellness, and they don't care at all about how great our product is. And you could go through the science and you could go through all this. And I mean, they're sitting there chumping on their cheeseburger, drinking a Coke, and they don't care. Maybe they've never been sick in their life, whatever. Right? Or you're going to have the group of people that are extremely health and wellness conscious. That's how I was. And they're already on something. And they wouldn't be on it if they didn't think it was good. So when you go to them and you start talking product, and Carol always makes a joke, and it's true. In the beginning, I was very, very careful, and I did not call her baby ugly, because you will if I would have gone into Carol and I would have started, attacking the company that she was with. Okay. And it's the same thing with Verna. All right. I mean, I'm sure Verna's like shaking her head right now. If I would have gone in there and I started attacking that company and talking about your product sucks and there's artificial sugars and there's soy and blah, 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 and we're the best, da, 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 I would have lost them. I would have lost that business forever, because it's human nature that you get defensive and it becomes emotional. Okay. So when I'm dealing with people, I take that monkey off my back and I let them off the hook. And I really do say this, listen, you can stay on your product. If you love it, great, stay on it. I am not here to call your baby ugly, even though really I am, and eventually I will, but that's not at the beginning, right? Okay, so I just say I'm not here to call your baby ugly, but I just want to talk to you about this compensation plan, because here's the deal, guys. People that are already bent towards network marketing, they know that it works. They've seen it work. You don't have to get over that hurdle. That to me is the biggest hurdle, are the people like the Lindsay Shields that hate network marketing. But if you are already with someone that's prone to that, talk money. Because when you start talking our compensation plan, and you hit these high points, we're paid to infinity, we're a binary, we have carryover volume, I promise you 1,000% they will entertain a conversation with you. And that's all you want, because nobody else over there is doing carryover volume. Most everybody flushes, and that's work that they put in that they're not going to even get paid on. All right. The paid to infinity is also huge. The highest number of generations I've ever found in any company is 7. So imagine that. Like Carol is, I think, 12 or 13 down from me. And so you can imagine what the rest of you are. So, and we're paid to infinity. So that's a huge deal. Don't talk, sorry, I have some people texting me. So don't talk product initially, because money is universal. And I know that people say, some people will say, I mean, I don't care about money. I don't care about money. Really? So if you couldn't make your house payment this month, that wouldn't stress you out? Or there's a lot of small business owners out there. And I'm going to tell you, I have been a small business owner. Carol can talk to you about this. Sammy, Berna, Barbara's out there. I mean, small business is hard, because there are months that you're paying out of your personal pocket to keep that business afloat, especially when you're first starting. And so small business owners absolutely care about money. They absolutely care about what's my bottom line and how can I have this extra income stream. So I want you guys to hear from Daryl, because he's a total pro, and I want you guys to hear how he invites and how he talks to people. Daryl, are you there? Have you unmuted yourself?
I'm here.
There you go.
Yeah. First of all, the biggest word I try to keep in my head when approaching people, and this is one y'all can write down or try to remember, is leverage. And the fact that I try to leverage, you're going to know the people you're talking to. I try to leverage what I think is going to get to them the best, whether it's, like you said, the money side, or however, or even, something that's going to stick out to them and get them to get the interest and really be excited about it. Because if you don't get their interest, they don't care what you have to say. And I was kind of like you, Lindsay, in the beginning. I was, so excited, and, had to go and regroup to go back to some people that I've actually gotten since then, and it's turned things around. But the biggest thing is try to figure out how you're going to get to certain people, whether it's, if they won't watch a video, they're never going to watch a video. And that might mean you go to their house and you sit down and play a video for them. And I've done this with a few people. I've seen the video hundreds of times, it seems like now. But that's something that you get instant questions. You get the interest of the people right away. Obviously the best thing for people is to try to get them to a meeting. because when you have multiple people in the meeting that are sharing the excitement, or for the fact that, hey, so-and-so signing up, they're jumping on board, I need to sign up. That's my take on the biggest thing. If you can get it, and I mean, go pick them up. It depends on how much you want to put into this or what you're going to get out of it. So the beginning stages are going to be crucial of how you get people on board. And then you kind of learn your tactics of who's going to be a little bit easier, I guess you would say. But like I said, leverage is how I try to remember for everybody what's going to get into their head about getting them on board and at least taking 5 minutes to listen to what you have to say.
All right, so give us an example of that. Like, let's say that you're talking to another small business owner or a guy in the oil field. Like, give us an example of how you would leverage that.
Kind of like you said earlier, I try to keep it simple. Obviously, number one, you always want to try to, if you see them in person, it's 100 times better. If you can get them on the phone, to me, that's second best. I don't like texting people, and some people, that's the only way you can get to them, but you want to make them call you back because they need to hear your voice. If I were to see somebody out and be brief, and they're probably going to see the excitement of me of what's going on. Obviously, everybody's stress levels down once this thing is up and rolling like it is. I'll tell them, briefly, hey, I've got this new venture that I've jumped in on, and it is exploding, and you need to listen to a few minutes of what I have to say. And I tell all my friends and family too, look, I'm going to give you the input on it, and when we walk away, if you don't do something on this, we're still friends, we're still family, whatever, that's fine, but I'm going to give you the opportunity because I don't want you to say you didn't tell me about this, because my plan is, 6 months from now and a year from now, I want to be, my goals are set extremely high, which is what everybody on this call I think should have, because you always want to, even if you don't make those goals, you got to keep them high because you don't want them easily obtainable. So that's kind of where I go with it. And like you said, follow-up is key with a lot of these people, because some of them, I always tell people too, whether it's by text or on the phone, hey, I'm gonna check back with you and see, like you said earlier, and tell them keep in touch, because you want to hear their feedback, whether it's good or bad, and you can learn from it.
Yep. Fortune's in the follow-up. That is critical. Okay, Daryl, you were awesome. Okay, so that's perfect. I saw a chat that says, I know you're excited, but slow down a bit. I can't take notes fast enough. Don't worry, this is recorded. And so I'm going to send this recording out, and you'll have access to it. So don't you worry. I know, I'm sorry, I'm talking fast. Okay, so we've kind of gone through the nitty-gritty. One thing that I totally forgot. Okay, so remember, the things that you got at Facebook page, Suso Pure, the YouTube channel, and then you're going to do Pure Team Global. Okay, the app. You absolutely must. Okay, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to show it. Okay, there's a Pure app. So if you go to your app store on your phone, Live Pure, you want the app. And then here's what I live and die by this app. And when you're running, if you click, once you get the app downloaded, when you click on My Business, it is literally going to show you left team, right team, and your sponsor tree volume. And that's how you know where you are, and that's going to help you with rank. The other thing is there is an enroll button on your app. And so when you click the enroll, there's an enroll now, which means you're literally going to sign someone up right here on your phone, or there's a quick link. So when you click that link, you can literally pick left leg, right leg, and then it allows you to send it to them via email or via text message. And sometimes that's nice because then that person can put their own social, their own credit card information. So that's super nice. So there is a way to enroll. The other thing is they have resources. When you click on the resources link, they have a documents tab, and they have all sorts of things. They've got product documents. They have recipes. They have different images, logos. I mean, there's all sorts of really cool stuff. So the app is also super duper important for you to have. Okay, mindset. So we've talked about skill set. I want to move into mindset. This is what I tell people. When I was in medical school, I studied all the time. I was always reading books. I mean, you can imagine. Let's say that you want to go to culinary school. You want to be a chef. I guarantee you, what are you doing? You're Googling recipes, you're watching cooking shows, you're constantly studying. Whatever you want to do, this is what you've got to study. And so in this, guys, network marketing is an entirely different beast. It is an industry all on its own, okay? And so you need to educate yourself on the industry, and you're going to have to read books that strengthen and give you some alligator skin. So I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to hear no. You're going to hear no. I'm even going to say you may hear more no's than yeses. Who cares? It didn't take that much. Remember what I said? Babe Ruth was the record Hall of Famer for the most number of home runs. You know what other record he held? The most number of strikeouts. Nobody talks about that. It's true. What about, I'm drawing a blank. Harry Potter, that author. It was like 30-something publishers that turned her down. One said yes. And look at what it became of J.K. Rowling is her name. But look what happened with Harry Potter. I mean, a movie was made out. Look at the books. It just takes one. And that is a true statement. It takes one runner. And that runner may not be someone that you personally sponsor. It could be someone that they sponsor, that they sponsor, that they sponsor, they sponsor. And it's 10 people down, 100 people down. It doesn't matter. It will come. So here's what I want you to grasp. Mindset. It's a 4-year degree. So I want you guys to think about it just like college, all right? We're in it for 4 years. And if you get in your mind, I'm in it for 4 years, and you stick and stay, I promise you, you're going to be at the top. It's inevitable because of the timing of this company. So where we all are, guys, I want you to realize, like, we are the Mary Kay ladies that got in the 1960s. We're them. We're going to be multi-millionaires. And we've got the IPO shares. Like, do y'all hear what I'm saying? I could just scream into this computer. Like, we are. There's all these people on here. We're the multimillionaires in this company because we got in at the beginning, at the foundational level. So I don't care how crappy your day is. I don't care how many people say no. I don't care how discouraged you are. You stick and stay. Because if you stick and stay, you will be at the top. And this is the most important thing that you have to get in your mind, because you will hear no. I still hear no today. Jared Burnett, top income earner, still hears no. Carol, I'm guarantee you, has heard no. So it's not that I don't hear no anymore. It's that it does not faze me anymore. It doesn't faze me like it does in the beginning when you're like, oh my God, it's not going to work. Like, she told me no, you know? Now, if you've had 10 people on your list, they're saying no, you're doing something wrong. 100%, you're doing something wrong. Something is up. You're doing the pure puke. Something's up. So you need to stop. Don't keep going through your list. Get someone to do those first couple calls with you, okay? And again, it can be me, it can be Carol, it can be Sammy, it can be whoever is on your team, Tanya, Kay, Daryl, whoever. Get someone on your team to help you make those calls because something's going wrong. So don't go through more than 10 names and you've had 0 success, and keep going. All right. Realistic expectations. So you need to have realistic expectations. And I want you to decide for you, what's your goal, okay? Is your goal, I want to make 10 grand a month, all right? That's $100,000 a year. I want to make 10 grand a month. Or is your goal, I want to make $1,000 a month. I want to make $500 a month. I mean, everyone, there is something that to you, not to Lindsay, not to Daryl, not to Carol, but to you is realistic. And that's what I want your goal to be, okay? My goal, I'm be straight up, I don't want the hundreds of thousands. I want the millions, because I know so many people that have made millions, and that's what I'm in it for. And I don't care if it takes me 4 or 5 years to get there. I'm going to get there. And I can tell you that looking you dead in your eye. I'm bold about that. So I've got the mindset, and I'm going to stick with it. In the beginning, I wanted to make $1,000 a month. That was my goal. I made it my first week. I quickly changed and I said, I want to make $5,000 a month. It wasn't long before I passed that up. 4 months into this, I was making 10 grand a month. I thought, oh my gosh, like, this is crazy. So your goals are going to change, but I want you to have realistic expectations of yourself. If you're super shy and you're not a go-getter and you're not going to do the work, and you say, I'm going to make $500,000 my first year, it might not be that realistic. Let's just get real with ourselves, okay? And decide, what are you going to do? How hard are you willing to work? So when I first started, this is true story. And I can tell you, as my witness, when I first started, I was crazy busy, and my goal was to make $1,000 extra a month. I worked 1 hour a day, Monday through Friday. That's literally all I did. And I tell people the story. I'm a homeschool mom, and I've got 3 girls. And so all of you that are parents, you know, mom, I'm hungry. You know, something spilled, laundry. I mean, it is constant distraction. So I figured out real quick, all right, I'm going to have to be laser focused in my day. So I sat my kids down and I told them, so 3 to 4, rest time and read a book. And I said, if you interrupt me while I'm working, because mom's going to work, mom's going to work. Now I'm working from home, but mom's going to work. If you interrupt me and it's not an emergency, you're getting a hiney busting. I totally told him that. And I'm telling you, I had to spank him a couple times. This is being recorded. I'm probably going to need to edit that out. People are crazy nowadays. But anyway, that's a true story. So, and I was laser focused from 3 to 4. That's when I was making my calls. And then one day a week we had a meeting, just like they're doing in Hallettsville and Victoria. Every Tuesday night we had a meeting here in Montgomery. So I knew, and my husband was on board, that I was going to be gone a couple hours in the evening. But guys, I worked at 1 hour a day, Monday through Friday. Plus I had the meeting, and I look at what I made in 4 months. I hit the rank of Emerald in 4 months. Now, Miss Carol hit Ruby in a month and a half. Sammy, same thing. Like, they're moving way faster. But I'm just giving you, that was I am the Joe Schmo. I am the average Joe on what can be done for someone that's really busy. So I don't want to hear, and that's the thing. I don't have tolerance for people that are like, well, I'm busy. Trust me. So am I. So is Daryl. So is Carol. It's how bad do you want it? Because you will make time for what's a priority. Are you too busy for 10 grand a month? I mean, because here's the deal. The people that can't make time for that, it's a lack of belief. They don't believe that it's real and that it can happen for them. So their excuse and their cop-out is, I don't have time for it. Remember, they're not your oyster. You keep shucking. You find your runner. They're not your runner, okay? So don't sit there and you can't be a pack mule and carry them across the finish line. All right, the number 1 most important book you need to read is Go for No. And I want you to tell your teams this. So again, every new person that you sign up, what are you going to do? You're going to sit there and you're going to show them how to log into their back office. You're going to show them how to change their auto ship. You're going to go through the action sheet. And then I want you to tell them you need to buy the book, Go for No, right at the beginning, because they're going to hear no, and this book will radically change the mindset, and it's so helpful. Okay, I want you to remember that how you do anything is how you do everything. So I don't know if you guys know, but Coach Matt Deggs, who is the head baseball coach at Sam Houston State University, he's awesome. He's a part of our team. And the last conference we were at, he talked, and I need to find this recording and send it to y'all. I'm going to text it out to leaders. It was incredible, like mind-blowingly incredible. But one thing he said is, how clean is your dugout? In other words, and then he said, how clean is your car? And I got real convicted, because I'm the Chick-fil-A mom that, like, I got chicken nuggets and like fries in the back, and I probably have nerds and spilt orange. I mean, very convicting. And he said, how you do anything is how you will do everything. And he said, your car is a reflection of where your life's at right now. And I'm sitting in the audience and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm a slob. You know, I'm thinking I'm a slob, you know? And so it was very convicting to me, and it made me realize that the people who are very successful in life manage their day, they're organized, and their lives are put together. So if you're a freaking train wreck right now, that's okay. I've been there. But you got to get your stuff in order, or you're not going to be successful. So that's something else as far as like realistic expectations, is you're going to have to manage your day. So just like I was like, all right, from 3 to 4, that's when I'm making my calls. You need to manage your day. A lot of people will get distracted and they're all over, you know, so figure out when you can do it. This is about being disciplined and being intentional. And with that, you need to be disciplined and intentional too with your family. So when I started this, I sat my kids down and I said, guys, mom's going to work. And I'm going to do something. I'm going to work really, really hard for the next couple of years, but it's going to radically change our family. And I need you guys to be on board with mom and help me out. But there's going to be times I'm not going to be at dinner, and there's going to be times that dad's going to put y'all to bed, and I'm not going to be home to tuck you in. And it kind of like makes me kind of choke up right now, but it's temporary. And it's a season that I got my whole family on board, because I am changing our stars. It's crazy what we've been able to do with the extra income that we've had. And so that's doable and that's possible for you. But I just want to tell you that I am very intentional that when I am home with my kids, like, I'm home and I'm fully present. So maybe for you, set boundaries and say, I'm not going to be on the phone. I'm not going to work pure on Sundays, or I'm not going to work pure, whatever your day is. But all I'm saying is that pace yourself and realize that, yes, you've got to be consistent and persistent, and this is a daily thing, but pace yourself and set boundaries, because this type business can overtake you. All right. There's always, so just focus and have time with your spouse, with your kiddos, and, make it so that you have joy. All right. Visionary and be a doer. You have to be a doer. Vision is a part of it, but a doer. That's the most important thing. People ask me all the time, how do you be successful? I said, there's one trait that if you have, you're going to be successful. Grit. Can you put your nose to the ground and just go? Because it does not matter your education, your background, your business experience. If you've got grit and you're a hustler, you're going to make it. And you're going to make it to the very top. Grit. And what grit means is that means going through the motions when it stinks and when you don't want to do it. This business are peaks and valleys. It's going to be like the stock market. There are times that you're like, my team's not doing anything. Everybody, I've got 10 people on the fence and nobody will return my call. That's how it is. We all feel that way. And that's why you have a team and we can laugh about it over drinks. Okay. That you don't quit. Like, you don't whine like a little crybaby, because that's the other thing is when someone calls me and they're like, I'm so depressed. I say, what book are you reading? And they're like, well, I'm not reading a book. And I'm like, well, you need to be reading a book. I have a book list, by the way, so I'll send that out too. I have a book list of recommended books. Okay. What you believe is true. So whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. If you think this isn't going to work for you, you're right. It's not going to work for you. If you have the mindset that I'm going to the top and I'm going to do this, you will go to the top. So mindset is very, very, very important, and you've got to have your head in the game. All right. So I heard this saying that says you got to brainwash yourself for success. And that's part of why that SoundCloud, remember I was showing y'all on Pure Team Global. And also, all right, let me keep going. All right. So far, are there any questions? Hang on. I see a Q&A. Let's see. Let me just make sure. Live Pure Hunt app comes up yoga in Korea. Okay, maybe try, okay, so I typed in Live Pure and it like had the little white thing with the leaf. I don't know. Does anybody else's? Okay, somebody else said sometimes you have to type in Genesis Pure. Okay, so several people are saying I had to type in Genesis Pure. All right, let's talk about Genesis Pure. Genesis Pure is what the company used to be called a long time, so you're going to still see that occasionally. It's like the umbrella company. They rebranded about a year ago, and now it's just Pure. So make sure when you're talking to people that you don't call it Genesis Pure, even though, in the app or whatever, it is just Pure. People United, reaching everyone. Genesis Pure is the overarching umbrella, kind of like, I don't know, Johnson & Johnson is the huge umbrella company, and then within them they have all these subsidiaries. So that's it. Okay, so all right. So this is something that when I sign up someone new, I'm going to walk through these steps to kind of show them so that they understand. So when I'm signing someone up, this is very important. Because the auto ship is so critical, when I go through the sign up process, I automatically sign them up for auto ship. And I just pre-select the 4 Goyen bottles. Because that's at the 100 points, and I just get through the process, because here's the reality. A person doesn't know what they want for auto ship when you're signing them up. So I pre-select the 4 Goyen bottles and I get through the sign up process, and then I show them, okay, I'm going to show you how to change your auto ship. So here at the top is auto ship. When you click on it, you're going to see right here my every 4 weeks, right? So I'm going to click on edit. All right. And right here on the product information, it tells you what my current auto ship is set to. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to click the edit button again. All right. So this is where what I'm currently selected at. So when I want to change this, I go in and I'm going to have to manually change each one to 0. So I would go in here and I would change each one out to 0. And then I would go in and I would select what products I want. Okay, and then when I'm done, I would go here, I would say save changes. And then, well, save changes. I just love when there's technical difficulties when you're in the middle of a Zoom and it's being recorded. All right. Okay, so here I am. Then you would just save changes one more time, and then your auto ship is done. So auto ship is everything's updated. Okay, now let's talk about how you sign someone up, okay? So here at the top again, there is an Enroll New tab. So if I click on this Enroll New tab, here's the deal. The computer is going to automatically assign it to the left or right leg. So you don't get to pick. Most times, guys, you want to pick. We're being strategic, right? If you're going to keep family on one leg or a close group of girlfriends or whatever. So the way you do that is you're going to go to genealogy, and then you're going to do graphical genealogy. All right, so here I am, and you're going to see like boxes. All right, so let's say that I want to do my bottom left. Okay, so you can click bottom left, and it's going to take me all the way down to my very bottom left hand side. Okay, so did y'all see that? Every single person at the bottom of their name has an arrow, and when you click this arrow, you can go to their bottom left or bottom right. All right, so like let's say that I've got someone on my team that I'm trying to really help build. And again, I'm working where I'm deserved, not where I'm needed. So let's say that I've got someone that's super close to hitting rank, so I'm going to help them. I can go to here to genealogy, and I can go to genealogy search. All right, and so here I can pull up, let's pull up someone's name. Like I could pull up Masters, let's say. All right, and here's all these different people, Masters. I could click on their name, and it will take me to their boxes. So let's click down here on Naomi. Maybe. Okay. View and graphical. All right, so here's Naomi. So here's the deal. I could purposely click a box, and that's where I would sponsor it. So that's what's really cool about the graphical genealogy, is it allows you to pick where you want to put someone. Now, again, if you mess up, you've got 4 days to move them where you're going to, okay, where you want to put them. Now, this is something super cool, and I'm going to train on this on Sunday's team call in depth. But this is what I call war board training. So this is very important, and we'll finish up for the night. I know we've been on for a long time. I'm sorry about that. But this is the last thing. Under genealogy, right here, when I click genealogy, okay, so what you do when you sign someone up is you're going to graphical genealogy. This is something else. This is called tree view genealogy. All right. Tree view genealogy is going to show you every person I have personally sponsored, okay? And then you see these little plus marks. So if I click the plus mark, it's going to show me everyone they've sponsored. And then you can keep on expanding out. And I mean, you can expand out and go all the way down. When you have very first started, all right? And this is very important. So the other thing, so what I want to tell you on that tree view genealogy, this is something important. So our pay period runs from Tuesday to the following Monday at 11 p.m. So this is something that I do. And I started in the very beginning, and you want to do this. So every Tuesday morning, I would sit down at my computer and I would pull up tree view genealogy. And it would show me everyone I had personally sponsored, and I would expand it out. And so what I would do is I had a dry erase board. Dead serious, I did this every Tuesday. And I would write out what rank I was trying to achieve that week. So let's just say I'm trying to achieve platinum, okay? Platinum is 5,000 points, lesser leg. So when I would expand out, let's say that I saw I had sponsored Nancy. So I'm going to call Nancy, and I'm going to say, all right, Nancy, what's your goal this week? What are you trying to get to? And she may say, all right, I'm going to get to silver. All right, awesome. I know that for her to hit silver is 1,500 left, 1,500 right. That's 3,000 points, guys. So I would write on my board, Nancy, silver, 3,000 points. What does that tell me? I only have to have 2,000 more points, and I hit platinum. So then I look at my next person, and maybe it's someone that Nancy sponsored. And so I call them, all right, what's your goal this week? You going to try to hit silver? Great. That's another 3,000 points. Right there, 3,000 plus 3,000, that's 6,000 points. I've hit platinum. So my point in telling you this is when you go to that tree view and you start realizing if you help your team hit rank, what that does for you. That is huge. You will be blown away at how much volume that is going to add to you. All right. So let's talk about this. Let's say that Carol, she hit Ruby. Ruby is 10,000 points, lesser leg. She hit Ruby last week. All right. So on my, if I'm doing my war board, I know Carol's going for Ruby. So I would write out Carol, Ruby, 10,000 points. And then I call Daryl and I'm like, Daryl, what's your rank? And he said, man, I'm going for Sapphire. All right, that's 7,500 points. So I'm going to write Daryl, 7,500 points. Do y'all see that? 17,500 points. Diamond in this company is 20,000. So if Carol and Daryl hit their rank, I'm not that far from diamond. Think about that. And so what you do is you start expanding and you start working down and helping those people hit their rank. Now, it's not about you being a manager and managing them. It's about calling them and saying, all right, what's your goal? Because we're going to get you there. If someone says, man, I need to hit gold, that's 3,000 points, lesser leg. All right, let's put a list together and let's call. Who are we calling? What meetings do we have set up this week? And so that's the most important thing is when we're doing these meetings once a week, don't wait for the meeting. Don't wait. That's a mistake. You are every day building this business, because if you're bringing people on, then guess what? They're all going to recruit to the meeting. Okay. So instead of just you recruiting to the meeting, you've got 3 or 4 people recruiting to the meeting, and that's how your business explodes. So you don't just sit back and wait until the day before a meeting and then start calling people. You're working all the time. So anyway, I'm going to do a very in-depth training on that war board on Sunday on our team training call. So every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock Central Time, Pure Team Global, they do a call. Every Sunday night at 8 o'clock, we have our SUSO team call, and they are recorded and different people do them. I did it last week, and then I'm going to do it again this week, and it's and I'm going to do it on war board training, because it's a very focused way on how to strategize and hit rank and build your business. So anyway, let me see. There's a couple of questions. Let me answer these, and then we'll be done. Let's see here. Okay. How does sales tax work? There is no sales tax in Texas, so that's nice. In other states, there will be sales tax, but it's going to automatically calculate it for you on the computer. So, all right, I think that's it. We don't have any more questions. Thank you guys for being on the call. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, please call, and I hope this helped. The most important thing is to get started. That's the most important thing. Ignorance is bliss in this business. The more people are buying into you and your excitement, not on everything you know. So do not feel like you've got to know it all. In fact, it's better when you don't, because that's a perfect excuse to call somebody and get them on the phone with you and help you, because that's very powerful. So yes, watch the videos, familiarize yourself with Pure Team Global, get on SUSO Pure, do all that thing, but don't that's not income producing. So be relational, be you. You're not going to be a Lindsay Shield, and I'm never going to be a Carol Allen, but that's where we complement each other. And so the most important thing is be authentic, be you, and be excited, because this is very legitimate. These products are going to radically change people's health. And I kind of get excited about that, because at the end of the day, we're not selling Tupperware. We're not selling lipstick. We're not selling leggings. We're selling something that is literally not knocking that stuff. But I'm just saying this stuff is radically changing lives, and to make money off of that is something very, very powerful. So anyway, thanks for being on the call, and that's all I have.